is so unprofessional. This is the worst video I've ever made. Holy moly. It's not even straight. Damn. Wait. Hey everybody. Hey, Kaylu here. I went out with my guitar to, I'm busking, and that's basically how I'm trying to make a living. And it's not raining, but it's half a monsoon going on outside. I live by the sea in Italy, and there's so many waves and a lot of wind, and basically nobody walking around. Whoever's there is freezing their butts off. They just want to go home. So I can't play tonight, and I really wanted to be productive, so I figured, okay, let's film. I didn't plan on this. I'm sorry. I didn't plan on filming in the jankiest way possible. Maybe I should show you where I am. I'm in a tunnel that used to be where the train would go near the sea. Like the sea's over there. You can't really see it, but anyways, and that's the village behind me. So I'm just at the entrance of the tunnel, and this is my tripod for the day, my guitar case. So I'm trying to get my phone to just hold, and there's these crazy lights on top of me. Like, how can I block this? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Jeez, man. I feel like I'm in a Jackass video or something. Anyway, so I'm really sorry, and I just can't do the content I wanted to do. But I have to be productive. So let's pretend I'm a saint and there's light from above coming. Uh, so what do you want? What do you want, man? What do you want? Do you know what you want? Of course you don't. Nobody knows what they want. This is the time where we're supposed to choose what we want. We are under stress, if not under duress. We are under big stress, right? I don't know about you, but I'm under big stress. Financially, psychologically, even physically. How many of you are sleeping well at night? Yeah? Um, how many of you feel rested, feel really supported by this world? It's a crazy time. It's a crazy, crazy time. And we're supposed to choose what we want. We're supposed to make big decisions right now because we are building the future. When there's chaos in the world, it's always the best time, the best opportunity to make moves. That's when people get rich. That's when people acquire tons of land. That's when inventions come out. That's when societies change, and we are at this moment right now. So if we want to profit from this and be winners instead of being victims of whatever is going on, we better make up our minds of what we want. I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult. I find it's a big challenge. It's a huge challenge. And if you watch the first episode of this best apocalypse ever show or podcast, I don't know what this is. I told you that I didn't have all the answers. I'm just some guy, but I think I'm asking some important questions, so maybe this is relevant. Let's hope so. Uh, yeah, so how come it's hard to figure out exactly what we want? Because, if you want to accomplish something, if you have like any project, you have to know where you want to go. You have to know what's your objective. You have to figure out what's the end result of what you're trying to achieve. And I feel that collectively we don't have a clue. Well, maybe we have clues, but we haven't found exactly what we're trying to do. And the reason for that, I think, is simply that we've never seen it. We're going towards a new world that we have never seen before. That I don't think humanity has ever lived that. We're moving towards a new human experience. I want to say a new humanity because I feel that we will be even our bodies are transforming, our minds are certainly transforming, and I think we're going into a new humanity and definitely a new human experience. Um, a lot of people, I believe this was sort of not only predicted, but it was programmed into humanity. I'm not sure how. I don't under. This is bigger than us, and I don't get it. But I got a feeling that somewhere, somehow, it was always going to happen this way. I don't know why. And I'm pretty sure that some people that are at the top of this control pyramid, control structure, pyramidal, in the shape of a pyramid control structure. I'm pretty sure these people knew about this, have known about this for a long time, and I think everything that is being done against us is related to that. In other words, I believe there was always going to be, at this moment in time, a natural, very strong evolution of humanity, a sort of nature's push to transform us into something else, something we're supposed to become. And I've always said humans are not adults. We're still just we're like teenagers in a crisis, and now we're going to become adults. That's a scary thought, especially when you're a teenager. But like I can think of, let's say, when humans would run to their caves before the sun went down, because like the sun was everything they had, and when it went down they didn't know where it went, they didn't know what it was. So it was like, God is leaving us, we must hide in our caves until he comes back, which is every single morning, dumbasses. But back then we were children. If you play with a child and like you hide yourself, like they will laugh every time because they don't recognize that, like they think you're gone for real or whatever. I don't know how their brain works, they're just dumb. But we were dumb like this. We were children and we didn't understand anything at some point. We didn't know, so we just made up stuff, and we were working out of fear and out of these very, very basic emotions. Then we can think of when we became a little, children, but of a later age, like maybe the equivalent of, I don't know, 10 years old, when really religion became very organized, and then humans followed religion, and that was it. That was the thing. You do what religion tells you to do. Actually, you do what your local representative of your not chosen religion tells you to do. And that was not very mature, right? Now what are we doing? Now we're teenagers in crisis. We're not children anymore. We recognize that a lot of the systems don't necessarily work, that there was a lot of lies and manipulation and religion and things like that. But we're not mature either. So now we're at the point where we've sort of been told through media that we should have everything. We should all be rich. We should all be rock stars. We should all be our own gods. So we want everything right now, right away. And we don't want any consequences with that. We don't want to have to pay for anything. We don't want. And obviously that's another way to exploit people. If you can make them believe that they deserve all that, of course they're never going to get it. But you can make them run after that friggin' carrot for a long time and really exploit them. And that's been done to us. That's being done to us. And I feel that with the whole virus thing, I'm trying to avoid certain keywords. Maybe they even try to revert us back to the religion thing. And the way I see it, religion has just been replaced by the media now. And it's sort of For a lot of people, it is God. It is their God. I've told many people, yes, you will do this and that. When the measures came out, the sanitary measures, I said, yes, you will do it. You will do it because your God will tell you to do it. And they did it. They saw it on TV. God told them to do it. So they wore the, they wore the thing. And yeah. By the way, I took the bus today, and not on my way back, but on my way there, there were like, I want to say 75% of the people who didn't wear the thing on the face. And here it's mandatory in public transportation. So, and I saw this lady that was, she had a very thick one, and she had her little not umbrella, you know those Japanese things. I'm sorry, I forget the name. Anyway, she was fanning herself, I guess, with a little fan, and you know she kept sweating and sweating, and I really wanted to tell her, you know, maybe there's an easier way. Maybe if you take off the thing that's making you sweat, you're gonna have actual oxygen, and I mean that you know that's another thing like that we need to realize. Like a lot of people want to wake up people, and I go in and out of that. Like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I could share this information or tell this to that person, and it would help wake them up. And some other times I realize, man, I'm completely wasting my time, and I should just worry about me and lead by example, and that's it, you know. Not out of selfishness, just saying, look, it's possible to have a different kind of life. And I know that when I moved to Italy from Montreal, Canada, a lot of people didn't believe I would do that. They didn't believe I would succeed, and they certainly didn't believe I would be in a place like this amazing. And I think I didn't do it for them. I just did it for me. I just thought if I'm gonna go through this apocalyptic times, I want it to be in the best, in the nicest place possible. So at least I'm surrounded by something nice. I'm sort of fed by something positive every day that will hopefully help counterbalance at least a little bit all the the horrific things that are going on everywhere else. But you know, if you're trying to wake people up, like you have to realize that people have been sold this idea that oxygen is not a priority by putting this thing on their face. And you know, I'm not even talking about the injections, but like, like the level of brainwashing, the level of work that has to be done to wake people up is that deep. It's like, you know, I told that to one of my friends who's completely asleep. I said, you know what is the number one factor for healing an infection is oxygen. And by wearing this, you're cutting off, I don't remember the percentage, but I may be wrong about this, but I think it's like 30% or something. So obviously it's not helping, but whatever. It's not like it's not like we don't have like dozens of studies saying exactly that, but the TV doesn't show them. So God doesn't want you to know. Okay, I don't even know where I'm going today, but I wanted to say these things just to get it off my chest. There are, I said in the first episode that I wasn't going to talk about current events, and one current event happened that sort of rocked me a little bit. It was the announcement of the Queen's death. Not that I give a crap about the Queen or her death or her being dead or alive, what she'd ever done for me. I never met her. She's an old lady. But months ago, I heard this theory. It's a theory. It's not something I can prove. It's not something that I'm saying is true. It is a theory. But I thought it was an interesting theory Sorry, there's people that are making noise a little bit. So this theory says that there are positive forces around the world in the military, the whole 17th letter of the alphabet thing. And since the beginning of these operations, even like since I started looking into what's going on in the world, I've always said I don't believe that there's no one in the military or the intelligence community or even governments, that there's no one willing to do something about what's going on. And there's gotta be some secret meetings and some actions being done. And from what I see of what's going on in the world, there seems to be some proof that there are positive actions being done, or at least some people doing things to block some of the negative actions. But I could be wrong. I cannot prove this. It is a theory. I cannot prove it. And anyone that tells you the cavalry is coming and blah, 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 they don't know. They cannot prove this. So, and I do believe that no matter what, if we do what we gotta do, we'll be okay, with or without any cavalry. But that being said, people talking about that theory of there being a positive military willing to help people, were also saying months and months ago, like 6 months ago or something, that there was an operation going on that basically they said the queen might already be dead or whatever, but the announcement itself of the queen's death will be a signal to start other operations of these positive forces, and it will be big things that happen one after the other, boom, 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 boom. And so when I heard about the queen's death, I was sort of this came back in my mind, like this is supposed to be an important event, and there might be some big changes happening, and positive changes don't necessarily mean immediate positive changes. For example, someone was talking about the fact that in a lot of countries, like Canada, I think the US also, farmers are not having access to what do you call it? In French, it's engrais, the thing to grow that help the plant, their plants and vegetables and things grow. But those products are not really good. They've been corrupted. They're full of artificial things in there. So the fact that they don't have them anymore will force them to find a replacement, which will probably be a lot better for, at the end of the day, the food that we eat. So it's a bad thing that in the long term will turn into a good thing if people do the right thing. Sorry for not being more precise, but fertilizer was the word I was looking for. So them not having access to fertilizer, I don't think they will stop farming because they don't have fertilizer. They will find another way, another product to use as fertilizer, and if they're smart, they will make it their number one criteria to have a product that is healthier than the crap they used before, and that in turn will have a positive effect on human health. So I think there's a lot of events going on right now. So that's why I'm saying, I said I wouldn't talk about current events, but it is so related to where we're going and to the things I really want to talk about, which is our positive future. That it's only episode 2, and I've already changed my mind. I will talk about current events. And the real reason I didn't want to talk about that is to not be censored. But I'll try to find a way to mention what's the most important and not dwell too long on it. And I'm already 20 minutes in. Talk about not dwelling too long. Another event that sort of changed my mind is the fact that in Europe, we're having incredible increases of gas and electrical bills. I haven't received mine yet because I get mine every 2 months. But my neighbor next door told me that usually he pays 44 euros a month, and he just received a bill for 200 a month. That's over 400% price increase. I don't know about you, but I just can't afford that. Like, if that's what it is, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm not paying that. And there's actually a movement. I saw some videos of Italian people and I think German people and others in Europe protesting by burning, getting together and burning their electrical bill and gas bill. So that's one way to generate heat. Hey, any vegans out there? I got a bone to pick with you, or a root to pick with you. I have a carrot to pick with you. Um, I really like the vegetarian vegan movement. I think it's nice that people become more aware of animal cruelty and how food is produced and all that. And my camera is so janky and not straight. I'm sorry. I apologize for this setup. It's just tonight is what is it? Mercury retrograde. I guess that's what it is. Hopefully you can hear me properly. But yeah, I wanted to talk to like vegans and vegetarians and people who want to not eat animals in general. If you know some of them, please listen to this message and relay it to them. I don't understand this way of thinking of the vegan and vegetarian people to try to reproduce meat stuff or try to reproduce known dishes. Like, I see all these vegetarians saying, now we have hamburgers that looks like the real thing and it bleeds, or let's make let's use a zucchini and make pasta. Let's use I don't know what and make rice. Dude, everyone in the world is freaking bored of pasta, rice, and even burgers. Come up with your own stuff. What's going on here? It's like you're so creative in the way you can use different nuts and oils and whatever and vegetables to create other stuff, or create your own stuff. I mean, I don't know the history of like McDonald's, but I'm pretty sure when they became popular, it wasn't by saying, hey, we have burgers. No, they said we have the Big Mac. That's a big ass thing with levels on it and all kinds of colors and this sauce that you don't know what's in it, and it was pretty easy to figure out, but and it intrigued people and it was unique. You didn't order a burger with different levels, you ordered a Big Mac. It became like the trademark of the whole thing, and every big chain has their own special sandwich or their own special dish. I think you should do this. I think you should talk to each other and like look at when you invite friends over who might not be vegans, when you share a meal with other people and they're eating this kind of food for the first time, what do they like? What's the one dish that they all go crazy for? Well, name that, and don't name it fake hamburger, fake spaghetti, fake rice. Who cares? Name it something cool, something that will be sort of evocative of your values, of what is cool about it. If what's cool about it is that it's a lesser version of another product that everybody is bored with, what's the point? So please invent your own stuff. Um, yeah, sorry, I'm ranting. I know. It's just that I'm so frustrated when I see this. Hey, we have fake spaghetti. Yeah, I got real spaghetti. Go away. What do you want from me? Anyways, I watched a video recently from Lori Ladd. She started making these 1 minute videos a while ago, and I think it's a really good move. It probably attracts a lot of people to her channel where she can have longer form videos. And actually, I want to try doing the same thing. I recorded a few. I'm going to record some more. The whole thing's a work in progress. So welcome to Best Apocalypse Ever. But Lori Ladd has a video on her channel called Not an Easy Pill to Swallow, I think. Something like that. Something about a pill to swallow. And she's saying basically, she's talking about the asleep people and how the hardest thing for them to conceive, the hardest pill to swallow, will be to finally admit that there are people out there who don't have their best interest at heart. There are people out there who I think the way she puts it is who value more their salary, their power, their money than your life, and that will act according to that. And I really agree, and I think it's important even for people who are really awake to realize that this is going to be a hell of a shock for a lot of people. They're so far from this reality, and maybe one way we can get them ready to go there mentally is to, I was thinking when I heard that, I was thinking about some like assistant manager at some crappy job I had many, many years ago, or some coworker that was like jealous, or a bit of a, well, I don't want to name names anyways, but people like that who sort of were on power trips and who you could clearly tell didn't give a crap about you. And most probably when you had these experiences, you were probably pretty young, just out of the teenage years, or maybe still a teenager. And I think at this time in life, at this moment in life when we're still like in the teenage years, we I think we see evil in an easier way. I think it's clearer who's an ass and who's acting properly. I think it's clearer to us. When we're adults, we're all about making these. We're all about like being politically correct, or like maybe we're focused more on, well, I really need that job, so I better shut up. But there's more strategy involved. But when we're a teenager, we sort of live in the moment. So it's like, wow, this guy, the way he treats me, he's an ass. And but the thing is, these people, like, some people think that once certain people reach power, they start looking down on other people, and that's when they become asses. But I think it's the other way around. I think well, maybe there's a part of it that's true, but I think people are chosen to be in these positions of power because they have the ability to be an ass, because they have the ability to completely bypass their emotions towards other people. They have the ability to treat them badly for profit. And that's what, there's a bike. That's what the sort of corporate mentality is all about. And we've all met people like that. Now, take this and inflate it a little more. Give that person more power and a bigger salary and bigger opportunities, and put him in moral dilemmas where he can gain a whole lot by hurting other people or by not being very nice to a whole group of people. And I don't know about you, but I can see how some people just climb this sort of ladder, losing themselves in the way, but they don't care. They're getting more power. They become just power hungry, and the whole thing is about power. So these sort of psychopaths exist. This sort of evil exists in our world, in our society, and it's nothing new. It's always been there. And I think a lot of people are in big time denial about this. But when you see it, when you sort of recognize it, accept it, integrate it, then maybe it's easier to conceive that, yeah, maybe some people don't have our best interest at heart. And I think a lot of people also have sort of a gun to their heads. You know, they're just placed. You know, if you saw like a popular show called Narcos, which was based on some true events, but you know, we know when it says based on true events, it means we're gonna make it so America looks good. But in Narcos, that's what happens. You see how the corruption in the police force, in different levels of government, it's always people are put into impossible situations, you know, plomo or plata, like either you take the money or we shoot you or we hurt your family or this and that. So, you know, when it starts with the little power hungry, frustrated assistant manager that's gonna treat the people on his underlings like crap. But then it escalates to eventually someone who's in a position of power, like maybe a successful politician or successful someone in the business area, and where they get offered something really nice, and if they refuse, they're offered something really bad. So I guess you can see how it can be a whole chain. It's really a chain of enslavement. At the end of the day, that's what a chain is. It's enslavement, and you can see how someone can slowly drift from their humanity and hurt other people. So I hope that the people who are currently asleep and still believing TV, and you know, there's so much information coming out about everything that's been done to people, especially the last 2 years, 2 years and a half. I hope they can sort of start to make that leap of, yeah, maybe some people are not as nice as they make themselves to be. And maybe if you know some of them, maybe you can help them just by maybe telling them the story I just told you. Speaking of talking about these subjects, I was talking with one of my neighbors and one of his friends. They're both like in their 20s, smart guys, guys with like decent jobs, and since I live here, I try to avoid talking about like current events and anyways, because I don't speak Italian and well enough, I can't go very deep into certain subjects. But these guys spoke English, and we started talking about some stuff that happened in the world, and I don't remember how, but like we started talking about 9/11, and I told them, you know, about the Tower 7, the third building that fell down, and how it was announced on TV that it fell down 25 minutes before it actually fell down, and that there was no reason for it to fall down, and it was clearly controlled demolition. And anyways, I was talking about that a little bit and trying not to push it, you know. And I saw the guy like 2 days ago, two days later, and he told me, hey, you know what? I spoke about that with my mom, and she didn't know either. And I looked it up on the internet, and I saw the building collapse, and I didn't know there was a third tower. And I saw the lady from the BBC announcing it 25 minutes early, like she was reading a script, and I can't believe it, and this is crazy. And then he started talking to me about other stuff that's going on. I didn't want to go too much into the injection stuff because I know he went through that. So, but it's interesting because just by having a casual conversation and not forcing things and just trying to be nice and just introducing something safer, because 9/11 is so, especially if the guy's in his 20s, he was a kid when it happened, so maybe he doesn't have the same attachment as someone older to that event. But it kind of woke him up. It kind of woke him up to a lot of things, and we've talked many times about other things since then, much deeper things. And I always tell people, you know, the reason I talk about these things is because I know that if if we can expose that, and if we can wake up to it, we can go to a much better place. Humanity would be so much better once we get rid of those crazy people and those crazy systems that don't make sense. So I don't come out of like as a just a reactionary, a rebel or something. I'm like, I'm doing this for a purpose, because if we do accept the bad things that are going on, we can fix them and then have access to the beautiful things that will be, will be coming our way. And that's why I'm doing this show, broadcast, podcast, whatever it is. Best apocalypse ever. I wrote a song. I wrote a song called Best Apocalypse Ever, but it's like I didn't even record it. It's the corniest possible song. It's almost like the song from Team America, the movie from the creators, South Park creators, the America, fuck yeah. It's kind of like that. It was like best apocalypse ever. Maybe one day I'll record it and I'll play it for you. But right now it's don't tell anyone I did that. Anyways, so I'm really happy that I got at least so my neighbor, his friend, and his mom all sort of started questioning some things that they didn't know about, and they also thought that they didn't know about Building 7 and that stuff because they were in Europe, but that people in the US surely knew about all that. And I said, no, 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 no. Nobody knows if they watch TV, because it's censorship everywhere. And there's probably less censorship about those subjects here in Europe than in America. At least there was before. Now I don't know. Anyways, I gotta go. If you see me, and I've sort of decided to, I was gonna tape all the episodes like one take and just say everything I gotta say. But I've decided to, because I didn't want to edit, I've decided, what the hell, I'll edit a little bit, I'll try, I'm not sure. I've never edited something very long, like an hour long, and like when you finish editing, you need to render that file, and if you don't have a good enough computer or a graphics card or whatever, I'm not sure it's gonna work. Worst case scenario, I will post like the Best Apocalypse Ever, episode 2, or 3, part 1, part 2, part 3. I'll find a way. Like right now, please trust me that I'm gonna put something together that's really cool. It's just I need some time, and the fact that, as I said earlier, my electric bill and gas bill might be going up so much that I won't be able to afford it. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like in Europe, it's really now there was like the Queen dying. That was sort of a positive event because of this announcement, like I said earlier, that there might be a lot of other events coming up from positive military, possibly. And then there was sort of it seemed like a reaction, like a backlash to that, with, if I understand properly, like sanctions against Russia, so Russia doesn't sell their energy stuff to Europe, so now Europe hikes the prices like crazy. But again, I see this as an opportunity. Like I was thinking about it for a few days, and I was a little scared. Like, what's going to happen to me if I can't pay my electricity bill, and when I have to move, which is a very strong possibility. I have to talk to my landlord, and she might not be the most awakened person, so I don't know if she's going to understand really what I'm saying. Anyways, like many things might happen. By the way, if you're a Bitcoin millionaire, send me one Bitcoin. Like, maybe you have 100 Bitcoin. That's a pretty good amount. Maybe you can have 99, and you send me one, like one, just one Bitcoin. Just one, it's tiny Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin. Send me one Bitcoin, and I will make one episode a week of this thing, like an hour long or something, maybe more. I will make one episode a week for 1 year. Like, let's say I'll take a 2 weeks off. So I will make 50 episodes of Best Apocalypse Ever if you give me one Bitcoin. So if you're out there, and I'm serious, I'm really serious. Like, it sounds like a joke, but I'm really serious. If you're out there and you're like one of those crypto millionaires, and you're like, this guy, his camera is all janky, and he doesn't even have sleeves on his shirt tonight. And it's the worst video I've ever seen. But he's saying some important stuff, and maybe he's giving hope to some people, and maybe he's trying to do something that makes sense, which is to put in people's mind where we can go, which will give us the energy and the drive to go there, instead of just being victims of the events from any side, positive, negative side, and we're just being shaken up. But maybe you're watching this and you got 100 Bitcoin, and you're like, you know what? If I had 99 Bitcoin, I would suck, because 100 is such a nice number. Or maybe you have 101. It sounds dumb to have 101. Send me that one. You'll have the perfect round number, 100, left for you. And I will have this one Bitcoin. Yeah. So write to me, for real. Write to me. Send me an email or something. I guess that would be the most efficient way. And I will send you my Bitcoin address, and you can give me one Bitcoin. And I will produce 50 episodes. Whew, that's a lot. But I will produce 50 episodes of Best Apocalypse Ever. And at the same time that I'm doing this, I will look for other ways to finance my future, so I don't have to beg crypto millionaires for one Bitcoin next year. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. What was I talking about? This is so well organized. I'm looking at my paper. I don't remember. It happens sometimes. I'm totally not organized tonight. I made a series of videos in French many years ago, like 10 years ago, and it was called 50 solutions pour réveiller l'humanité, which means 50 solutions to wake humanity up. And I actually published only the first 45, because the last 5 dealt with big subjects like extraterrestrials and stuff, and I didn't want to go there, and I couldn't make the videos short enough. I wanted them to be very concise, but I couldn't record anything under 20 minutes, because look at me, I'm just a blabbermouth. And that's when the censorship started pretty heavy on YouTube, and there was just no point in recording stuff because no one was seeing it. There was censorship on YouTube, on Facebook, on everything, and like the number of views on my videos was increasing every week, and the number of people subscribing and leaving comments was increasing every week. And all of a sudden, it just stopped and even went down. And it's not because of any videos that I made or anything. It's just the algorithms that were. It's like they changed everything, the way YouTube works, and so many content creators got their channels closed or were demonetized, and I just gave up. I just gave up. I said I'll do something else for a while. But the point is, I made this series of videos, 50 solutions to wake people up, wake humanity up, and a lot of those videos have to do with what I'm doing now, like putting images of the future and talking about future technologies. And the problem is that I made these videos in French, so I can't exactly just show you these videos, because now I'm addressing Anglo-Saxon, the Anglo-Saxon community of the world, just because I want to reach as many people as possible. And if there is demand for it, if there is enough people who want and need that, I would be willing to make shows in French. But you you have to find me a crypto millionaire, French-speaking crypto millionaire who gives me another Bitcoin, and then I will produce some French episodes. All right. And by the way, I mean, I don't think I need to say this. I'm not in this for the money, but I am in this to pay my rent. I am in this to live, man. And I know myself. If I have a 9-to-5 job while I'm doing this, like a really nothing will get done. Oh, it's, I hate saying this, and I'm sure some people will think I'm lazy, but I don't think it's laziness, man, because sometimes I work really hard. Like, I recorded an album in June, July, and I was at home recording all day and then playing here at night and under the sun and sweating, and then going back home in the mountain. Like, I have to climb this mountain every time I go home with my guitar on my back, and I'm so tired when I get home. And the next day I would start again and again, and my fingers were almost bleeding from playing guitar. My voice was almost gone, and I had to calculate, like, okay, how many hours can I sing today so my voice holds up. Anyways, my point is, I'm not afraid to work hard, but when I work at like a job, I don't know, man, it doesn't work. It's like I have to work for me, or I have to work for something that makes sense, something that builds something, that creates something. And when I don't, it's not only do I have to put it, like if I have a straight job, not only do I have to put in hours and energies and all that, usually with a schedule that doesn't fit my natural rhythm at all, but it's like psychologically, it takes me so much energy to make it through. It's like too much compromise. It's like because straight jobs are part of like the system, that crazy system, and I really feel like I have to sort of lower my energy to fit that system, and it just hurts me. And I'm sorry. I was looking at these. These are whoops. These the these these are stones, but they look weird on a camera. Sorry, I'm distracted. It's very late. It's like midnight here, and I don't know why I'm still recording. I'm just ranting on. But my point is, I'm not afraid to work hard when it's for a good cause. And every time I had a job, it didn't seem like a good cause. It just seemed like a compromise that I should not be making. And I really think I've sort of gathered this knowledge for 20 years. 20 years of research, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. And in there that I feel I need to share because I really feel it could help some people. And you have to help me find a crypto millionaire that will give me 1 Bitcoin so I don't have to worry about other stuff, and just get a proper camera and a proper tripod. Maybe even hire, God forbid, hire someone to help me film these things and edit these things, or do some research for me also. Like there's a lot of research that goes on before I can make something like an episode of this. I mean, tonight not so much because tonight is a janky episode, but when I did those 50 solutions to wake humanity up, there was a lot of work in there, a lot of work. And I remember the day I recorded almost half of it on one day. I think I spoke for like almost 7 hours nonstop, and I didn't eat, I didn't pee, it was almost like I was on a mission. It was almost like I had been preparing for this for so long, and I pressed record and I just recorded one video after the other. And I remember after that I went out to walk my dog and I almost fainted because I hadn't eaten anything or drank anything, and I was so weak. I had to run into a store to buy like some soft drink just to get something sugary in my body to keep me alive. Anyways, so I'm not afraid of working hard, and eventually I want to cut down all that content that I created these years ago, cut it down and transfer it to you in English form, and of course updated. And I would like to do interviews with people. And yeah, I have so many ideas. So anyways, I will leave you now. I hope you have a really great day. I hope one last thing I want to say. I heard someone talk about the need to stop hesitating, and the image that person used was like It's a lady. She said it's like there's a wall pushing us, like a wall of destiny pushing us. Like it's time. It's now. We are now doing the thing that we're supposed to do to evolve into this adult human that we never thought we would be. That we didn't realize we were not. You know, we were just teenagers, but we didn't realize that. And there's this sort of wall pressing on us, like go, 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 go. You know, like I'll give you an example. Like I learned this week that maybe I can't afford my electricity bill anymore because it's so much. And it's not even the money. It's sort of the principle. Like, why would I pay that much? Why would they charge me that much? It's insane for something that you need to survive, like during the winter. It's completely insane. And I realized what is the real problem behind this is that we are dependent on a system run by asses that have absolutely no respect for us, and we're like treated like cattle because they see us as cattle, because we act like cattle. So I said, okay, what can I do? I believe I don't have any money right now. Like I'm pretty broke. I'm seriously like in danger of being homeless in a couple months. But I was in danger of being homeless 3 months ago, and now I have the same amount of money I had 3 months ago. So I figured, okay, I survived these 3 months. Maybe I can survive another 3 months, and we'll see where that leads. But now I'm like, okay, would it be possible that at the end of this energy, electricity, gas crisis thing, what if I come out of this independent? What if I come out of this and I don't need their system anymore? What if I come out of this and I found a way to produce my own electricity? And you can do it. You can buy solar panels. So I called a friend of mine. I called two friends. I said, hey, you got to hook me up with someone that knows everything about solar panels, because I know nothing about solar panels, and or other alternative ways to create your own electricity and basically be sort of off that grid. And I have a feeling that a lot of things in our lives are gonna like be taken away from us. And if we take it as an aggression, then we will be victims. If we take it as an opportunity, if we see it as, that's the wall that's pushing us, the wall of destiny. I should write a song. This sounds like a cool metal title. It's a cool title for a metal song. The Wall of Destiny. So this sort of wall of destiny pushing us in the back, saying, "Well, are you gonna do it now? Are you still gonna be the chicken in the farm waiting to be slaughtered, or are you gonna take responsibility for yourself?" And in a way, it makes no freaking sense that each of us would have their solar panel and their. But maybe if enough of us start doing that, then maybe we'll go see the neighbor. Hey, what if we hook both of us together and we can share the energy? Or maybe eventually someone will come up with better systems, cheaper systems, which already exists, I'm pretty sure. And I really think that you give it a little bit of time and we're gonna have this sort of free energy system that we all want, right? But it's like you don't have a choice, man. We live in the 3D. We're aiming for this sort of 5D thing that we don't even know what it is. Like I said at the beginning, what do you want? What is it that you want? You don't know because you've never seen it. We've never been free. We've never been free. We've never been responsible for ourselves. Now we have the opportunity to become that. But there's sort of a transition, so you don't have a choice, man. You want to have a foot in the 5D world, fine, but you're stuck in the 3D also. You got that foot in the 3D, and basically your genitals are hanging in between the both and getting kicked on a daily basis. That's just the way it is. So maybe in order to get that free energy that I want, maybe I need to get these stupid solar panels just so I can get rid of the old system. what can I say? So I'm looking for a Bitcoin crypto millionaire to give me 1 Bitcoin so I can produce 50 episodes of the best apocalypse ever podcast show, whatever you want to call it, and buy solar panels for my apartment and do other things. But Bitcoin has been going down, so I will not be doing many other things. But you know what I mean. So please contact your local crypto millionaire and tell him to give me 1 Bitcoin or 2. Okay, I've ranted enough. I hope you guys have a great day. I really hope this video will help someone somewhere. You know, I try to make it fun and joke around just for my own sanity and because I don't like listening to boring people, so I try not to be too boring. You're free to choose on YouTube the play at 1.5x option, so so the thing goes by faster. I actually try to speak a little slower because my English is not that good. Like I'm aware I have this accent and some words I don't pronounce so well. So I try to speak slower so I pronounce better, and it doesn't always work. Okay, take care of yourselves, and let me know in the comments or send me an email or whatever what you want to see, what you want to hear discussed on this show. Suggestions, insults, tomatoes, and electric bills are welcome. Uh, Talk about me to your local crypto millionaire and tell me what country you come from. Also, if you leave me a comment, I'd like to know, and maybe your age range, so I know kind of who's listening to me. And I will be very glad to read both of your comments. all 2 of you watching this. Take care, guys. I love you, and let's together have the best apocalypse ever. Best apocalypse ever. Okay, ciao.